Yeah, Mines and Money 2025 here in the beautiful town of Islington in North London. Yeah, Commodity TV is back here in London, and we want to start our interview series here with a company who is developing one of the largest polymetallic projects in South America, maybe also in the world. Chris Holden from Vice President Corporate Development of Eloro Resources. First of all, welcome to England.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Fine. Okay. So first I have to disclose that Eloro Resources, or the interview here, is distributed and paid for on behalf of Eloro Resources. So let's come to the company and to your project.
Sure.
Iska Iska in Bolivia. Lovely country, Bolivia. Polymetallic project. So you have silver, you have zinc, you have tin. All these metals are on several lists of governments for strategic metals.
Correct.
Does this give you more awareness here in the mining investment sector?
Definitely it does. I think one of the things that we like to highlight so much is there's lots of silver developments in the world. There's lots of polymetallics, maybe not as big as ours. But there's very few that actually have tin as a source of a critical mineral, especially in the Americas, right? Because if we look at what the International Tin Association kind of provides for potential projects being developed, we really are the only one in the Americas being developed at the time. So lots is being done in Africa. There's some being done in England. There's some being done in Australia, in the Far East. But really, when it comes to a project such as ours, there's not much being developed in the Americas. And when you look to see what's happened with the change in the Bolivian government, and I guess kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling they have with the U.S. government at the point, there can be that opportunity for Bolivia to not only become a substantial supplier of critical minerals, but a substantial supplier of critical minerals to the U.S., which is looking to diversify and bring product in and not relying on, China and the Far East from that standpoint. So we're certainly aware of that. We're certainly going down that path. They see what's going on in our development. We pushed back our resource until the first quarter of next year, and that's really because of what we're finding. It's becoming a better deposit as we start to step out from the high grade, and we're finding higher grade at depth outside what we thought was the initial pit design. Clearly that's going to change because, we just had a couple holes right outside that were substantial in nature that changes the whole thought process behind it. So we're pretty enthusiastic. We've got a great deposit. We've got changes that are coming on in Bolivia that makes everybody a little more happier because you can see that they're mining friendly. They want to develop mining within the country. It's clear that, economically mining is the strongest lever that they have to pull in the country. And we've got probably, I think, the best project in the country right now.
So you currently have around 1.15 billion ounces of silver equivalent, but the resource estimate is 2 or 3 years old. You are planning to, as you told me, to publish another one in around
Correct.
3 to 4 months, maybe from now. What can we await? Can we await more resources or upgrade of resources, or what you're working on?
I think the tonnage won't necessarily change. It will be an increase in grade, which is substantial. We just basically finished doing a new presentation for this, and you're kind of seeing that on average, all of the infill drilling that we've done since the resource in October of 2023 has been above or well above, in certain circumstances, above what the resource grade was. Like if you look at what we did for the bulk sample that was done in January of 2024, it was 90 grams silver. But if you do that on a silver equivalent, that's almost 200 grams per ton right? So that's a substantial number when it comes to. Now, I'm not going to say that it's all going to be like that, because I would be extremely happy if that was the case. But it's certainly, when you put numbers through that, through an economic model, it gets everybody excited.
Yeah. So you made a lot of progress this year, and so the prime commodity is silver and zinc. But as I could see, there was a little bit of a switch to tin. Very important metal for electric vehicles and all that stuff. So can you comment a little bit on that?
Yeah, no, it's we're excited to have the tin deposit. It's you know, when we're looking at the deposit, there's some boundaries in between the polymetallic zinc part and the tin aspect of it. But what makes this kind of an interesting project is the silver really deports onto both of them, right? It's 25 to 30 grams silver on the tin side. It's going to probably be higher in that on the polymetallic. But if you were to just separate the two deposits, say we're going to have a tin deposit here and we're going to run that, and we're going to have a polymetallic and over there, at 20 to 30 grams silver and $50 silverish, you're basically on a byproduct basis, you're producing tin for free. And so that's something we're excited about. I meant we're excited in general because we're starting to get better results on the drilling side. Tin is something that not many people have. It's starting to become, certainly when you have tin around $39,000 a ton, it becomes much more aware in terms of, in the European side, it's well aware. People are aware of the tin side, but it's becoming more noticeable when we're talking to accounts into North America that tin is something that you have to consider, because there is no tin being developed in the US. So they have to pull that in from somewhere.
Okay.
And historically, it's been Peru, Bolivia, and the Americas. And so we'd like to be a big, provider of that to the North American market.
So the resource estimate is one thing that you're planning, but it's only the basis for the PEA. What you're also working on at the moment. What can we await from this?
So the PEA will be completely dependent on the MRE, and that's partly why we're going to continue to drilling through the Fierce Corridor. We're going to have an initial resource out. We've done quite a bit on the PEA already. Like from a metallurgical perspective, we got some more testing to do that's going to be done in December here. So when we get to, let's say January, February next year, and the resource is coming out, a lot of the work that's really behind the scenes in terms of PEA has been done. So it's really just drill dependent at this moment, because we've done a metallurgy for the last 2 years. We have a really good understanding of it. We have in-house expertise in Bolivia. Dr. Oswaldo Arce, knows all that's going on in Bolivia. We have a very good understanding of the metallurgy associated in most of the, Bolivian polymetallics and tin mines. So when it gets to, the PEA level, we're well down that path. So, at this point, it's really just dependent on the drilling. So, and then we'll have to do some more drilling to get it to the pre-feasibility stage. And so, that will continue at that standpoint. But no, things are going really well. We're excited about what's happening at the company. Commodity prices are certainly, strong as well. So we're happy.
Right time, right place here for Eloro Resources.
Well, yeah, we're starting to see suppliers reaching out to us, that haven't been into the country for 15, 20 years, looking to come back in because they can see the opportunity in Bolivia. Bolivia is ripe for exploration potential because, the last 20 years up until 2020 when we kind of entered, really not much had been done on the exploration side. And you're starting to see a couple companies coming in. You're starting to see suppliers coming in. There seems to be I guess, a tailwind behind us that things are improving in the country, and that will lead to, increases in services, opportunities, to chat with the government to see if, changing in mining regulations is something that they've definitely noticed that they need to change. Arbitration rules are going to change. So, when we talk to our people in the ground in Bolivia, whether that's our legal counsel or Oswaldo, there certainly seems to be a bounce in everybody's step that things are going in the right direction. So.
Okay, sounds great to me. Thank you very much for this insight in Eloro Resources and
Thank
your
you.
plans. Merry Christmas and
Same
all the
to you.
best for 2026. We keep all fingers crossed that we will see
It will
a
be a
great
good
MRE.
year. It will be a
PA.
good year.
Wonderful.
So,
Thank you very much,
perfect.
Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Chris Holden, the Vice President of Corporate Development from Eloro Resources. You heard it. The company is really good shape. They will bring out a new resource estimate at the beginning of the next year, or in the first quarter. They're working on a PEA. I would say check out this very interesting company, and bye-bye from London.